Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to dive into something pretty cool. A showdown, really, in the world of money. Think of it like this. What happens when Grandpa's trusty old piggy bank goes head-to-head with a brand new, super brainy robot?
So let's just kick things off with a fun question. Seriously, just imagine for a second, what if your money didn't just sit there? What if it could actually think for itself, make smart moves, and just grow all on its own, 24/7? Kind of wild, right? Well, that's pretty much the huge idea we're going to unpack today.
All right, let's get right into it. We're looking at two completely different ways to make your money grow. So, in this corner, you've got the old school, the tried and true, traditional way of doing things. And in the other corner, something brand new, super smart, and powered by some really cool technology.
So on one side, you have what we're calling the old school ways. Just think of a classic savings account at a bank, right? It's safe, sure, it's steady, but man, it is pretty slow. Then, on the other side, you've got the new school ways. This is something called AI-powered DeFi. Now, don't let that term scare you. DeFi is just short for decentralized finance. It's really just a fancy way of saying it's a financial system that's open to everybody, not just run by one big company. And in this case, it's like having your own personal high-tech robot helper whose only job is to make smart moves with your money.
Okay, round one. Let's talk about the effort level. I mean, how much work do you actually have to put in to make your money grow with these two different methods?
Okay, so with the old school way, especially when digital money first started, you had to be the expert. I mean, you had to watch the markets constantly, you had to make all the calls, do all the research. It was a ton of manual work. It's kind of like trying to do your math homework with one of those old school abacuses, Super tough. But with the new school way, the AI robot does all the heavy lifting for you. It handles all the complicated stuff automatically. It's like upgrading from that abacus to a super powerful calculator that just gives you the answer.
All right, ding ding, round two. Now we got to ask a really important question. Where does the treasure, the prize money, actually come from? This is a big one, folks.
And this leads to a super important point. Is the money you earn real money, or is it kind of like monopoly money? Because believe me, not all the money you can earn out there is created equal.
So, this new school way, it's all about this idea called real yield. And all that means is that you're getting paid with real valuable money, like dollars, that comes from actual business happening. Think of it like this. When people trade different kinds of money, they're tiny fees. The robot helps manage this, and a piece of those real fees comes to you. It's not just some made-up game money that someone printed out of thin air.
So here's the bottom line, right? With the old school way, a bank might make this giant pie of profit, and then they give you just the tiniest little crumb. And some of the older crypto stuff, they'd pay you in these printed tokens that could lose their value really, really fast. But with the new school way, because it's all powered by real activity, you get a much bigger slice of a real pie, and it's paid out in money that's actually valuable.
Okay, now for the round I know you've all been waiting for. Round 3, the prize money. Let's talk numbers. How much can you actually earn? Let's see it.
So let's start with your typical bank savings account. The reward you get back, it's usually teeny tiny. We're talking like 0.01% in a year. I mean, to put that into perspective, if you had $100 in the bank for a whole year, you'd earn 1 cent. 1 single penny. Wow.
And this chart, wow, it just shows you the huge difference, doesn't it? Look at that little sliver of a bar for the bank. Now look at the bar for AI-powered DeFi. It's just in a completely different ballpark. And remember, that's because it's fueled by those real activities we were just talking about. Now, for sure, bigger potential rewards can come with different kinds of risks, but the ceiling is just so much higher.
Okay, so you're probably thinking bigger rewards must mean bigger risks, and that's a super important point. So let's have a little bonus round, the safety net. How is your money actually protected in these two systems?
What's really fascinating here is how they tackle safety from completely different directions. With a bank, the safety net is pretty simple: government insurance. So your biggest worry isn't really losing your money, it's that your money just sits there and basically doesn't grow. With the new school way, the safety net is the smart AI. It's programmed to spread your money out across lots of different things. That's called diversification. The idea is that if one thing goes down, it doesn't take everything else with it. Now, the biggest worries here are different. You're thinking about things like tech glitches or if the whole market takes a big dip.
So, I know what you might be thinking. This super brain robot thing sounds awesome, but it's got to be just for Wall Street experts or super rich people, right? Well, let's talk about who actually gets to use these tools. I think the answer might surprise you.
It used to be that, yeah, these kinds of advanced strategies were totally off limits for most people. They were just for the pros, the big banks, the hedge funds with whole teams of analysts. But technology is completely changing that. Since an AI robot can do all that complex work automatically, these powerful tools are now opening up to pretty much everyone.
Yeah, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It really is like suddenly everyone gets their own personal finance robot, one that can do stuff that used to take a fancy degree and years of experience to figure out. It's a huge deal, and it's opening doors for a lot of people.
Okay, let's wrap this all up. We've gone through the showdown, we've looked at the rounds, so what does this all mean for you? What's the big picture for your money's future? Here's a simple way to think about it. Traditional finance, it's like planting a seed in a tiny little flower pot. Yeah, it's safe, it's contained, but that seed can only grow so big, and man, it's gonna grow really, really slowly. But now, think about this new AI-powered way. That's like taking the same seed and planting it in a high-tech, smart greenhouse. You've got automatic sprinklers, sensors for the soil, perfect light. The technology creates the absolute best environment for growth. It helps your money grow faster and healthier.
Look, the world is changing so fast, and the tools we have for everything, especially our money, are getting smarter and way more powerful every single day. So the real question at the end of all this isn't really about piggy banks versus robots. It's about you. As these amazing new tools become as normal as the phone in your pocket, what are you going to build with them? What kind of future are you going to create? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.